Hello. We will see the type of conditionals that we have in shell scripting and how they are used. We have Ifelse and case, these two conditionals, and how they are used. We'll see it now. Now, what happens normally? The statements in a shell script execute sequentially. Suppose you have written a shell script, and how will all the statements execute in a shell script? Well, all the statements, the commands that you have mentioned in your shell script will execute sequentially one by one after the another. Okay. Suppose you have written a shell script which looks something like this. There are many statements in shell script. In a shell script, there are statements like this. Suppose this is some shell script in which there are commands. All the commands execute sequentially. But suddenly, you put a condition command. A condition command which will result in either true or false. Okay? If it's true, you continue further. If it falls, you take the alternative action. And in alternative action, there may be some other set of statements that you execute. Some other set of command. In true, you have some other set of commands that execute. Okay, so this is what happens. You have already used if-else in C programming, so therefore you will find it very easy here to execute the conditionals in. You've already executed conditionals in C programming using if-else. Something like that we have to use here also. Normally, all the commands execute in a sequence. And when the commands execute, a command executes. It gives out two things. When a command executes, it gives out two things. One, it will give the output. Another, it will give an exit code. Okay, the output of the command will go normally to some output device, normally your screen. And the exit code goes into an environment variable. Exit code goes into an environment variable called question mark. So every command will give some output that will go to some output screen, or every command will give some exit code, and the exit code will go to environment variable question mark. The range of exit code is 0 or 1 to 255. 0 is for successful execution of your command, and 1 to 255 is some kind of failure of the execution of the command. Okay. Now, many programs require some sort of logical flow control between the command and the script. That flow control is provided through the if-else construct or case construct that we will see. It works like this. It works like this. The most basic type of structured command that you see in your shell scripting is called if then else command. it works like this, as you see here, if then else. If command, this is the command that will execute. Watch this carefully. This command will execute, and when this command will execute, if is a keyword. When this command will execute, it will give you two things. That is, first, it will give you output, which will be visible on the screen. Then it will give you some exit code. This exit code will be either 0 for success or 1 to 255 for failure. If this exit code is 0 or non-zero, if it is 0 or non-zero, if it returns 0, it will be interpreted as true for if. If it returns anything between 1 to 255, it will be interpreted as false for if. If true, then these commands will execute. Then is the starting of the if block, and fi, ulta if, is the end of the if block. Okay, the object's command after the if statement is an equation that is evaluated to either true or to false. Okay. Now let's capture it in our Jamboard here. Now if you see it in the Jamboard, some explanations come like this. If command executes like this. If command, then some commands will execute. Ulta if. Many commands will execute. Now how it works is like this. This is a keyword. What I'm going to underline here is actually a keyword. Like this if is a keyword, this then is a keyword, and this fi is also a keyword, which tells you that you're going to work with if else. These are keywords. This if and this then and these if are all keywords. Not talking about this command which follows the if. This command would execute, and when this command will execute, it will produce either true or false. Okay, this will produce either true or it will produce false. If it produces true, true means 0, or if it produces false. Now if this command produces true, how will this command produce true? As I told you earlier, this command will produce two things. This command will produce an output, or this command will produce exit code, which will be stored in environment variable question mark. If this exit code is 0 or some positive value, if this command executes and gives you 0, that is success, true. Any non-zero positive value will be false. Okay, so if it gives output, then certainly output will come on the screen, and if it gives exit code which is 0, that will be interpreted as true. So when the interpretation is true, then these set of statements starting from then till the ulta if, all statements are executed. This thing is called if statement block. This if statement block will execute when the if condition is true. If the if condition is false, then everything comes down here. This. If the condition command gives false. False means some positive value. Then control jumps to statement to command after fi. Okay, so let's see how it works. A simple example here. Yeah, see this. I am going to execute echo, which is a command which will print hello. The output of echo is hello, which will go to screen, and the exit code of echo will go in environment variable called question mark, which is here. So the exit code will go into environment variable called question mark. That also we will print. You will see that if the echo command would have executed successfully, then the exit code of the echo command will be going to environment variable $question mark, which will be 0. Then I'll execute this command asdfg. Now there is no command called asdfg. Because there is no command called asdfg, so this command will not execute. The output of this command will be command not found, and then the exit code will be some kind of error which will be generating from this. Error will be printed. Then I'll give the date command, which is the valid command. Output of the date command will come to screen, and the exit code of the date command will go to echo, and we will print it. Then we'll give a who command. Output of who command will again come to screen, and the exit code of the who command will go to echo $question mark. I'll give pwd command. Output of pwd command present working directory will come to screen, and the exit code of pwd will go in echo $question mark. Again, lkjhg, you don't have this command, and the output will not come. Instead, error will come, and error will say command not found, and then the exit code will be printed. And finally, we have the exit 0, which is the exit of the whole shell script. Okay, I will execute this script in front of you, and I will show you how it works. Here it is. Now see the output, hello, which is the output of line number 3, and then the exit code of line number 3 is 0. You saw that? Then we execute asdfg. For asdfg, it doesn't execute. Why it doesn't execute? Did I not save this? Here is hello output here. Now this is the output of line number 5, which says asdfg command not found, and the error code is 127. Did you see that? Okay. Then after that you execute date command and its exit code. The date command is here, the output of the date command, and the exit code success. Then you execute who command and its exit code. The who command output is here, and its exit code 0 for success. Then you give pwd command and its exit code, present working directory, and its exit code. Then you execute lkjhg. This command is not available, so it says command not found, and the error code. Okay. Then I give exit 0, which is the exit of the shell script, and the exit of the shell script is also stored in $question mark environment variable. Here is 0. This is how the command executes and gives the output and gives the exit code. Okay. Let's have a look at another script. Well, this is a simple script in which I give a command, I give another command, and I give another command. So shell script is nothing but a collection of commands. Okay. Now, let's have a look at some conditions. The very first condition command. It says echo script begin. So script begin will be printed here. Okay. After that, look at the line number 4, if followed by a command. Now there is a special command which is called true. This special command true will always print true, will return true. Exit code will always be 0, means exit code will always be success. Okay, so it will always be success. Because it will always be success, the then and the if is the if statement block. If statement block. If the condition, this is the condition command. True is a condition command which is always true. So therefore, these statements will run. It is true. It is also true. It is definitely true. It is thoughtfully true. And then it will print script end. Because the condition command returns true, therefore the if statement block would run. Here you see, script begin, it is true, it is also true, it is definitely true, thoughtfully true, and all these statements execute. All these statements execute because the condition was true. Let's have a look at another example. Yeah. Echo script begin if false. Now, FALSE false is a keyword which makes it false, returns a non-zero exit code. So if will interpret it as false. So the then portion will not execute, instead else portion will execute. Let's have a look at this script in with slightly more explanation here. Yeah. This is a keyword. If is a keyword, then is a keyword, else is a new introduction, is a keyword, fi is a keyword. All these are keywords. One, two, else, and fi, all are keywords. Now the command will execute. This is the condition command, false. It will execute and it will produce output. And it will produce exit code, which could be true or which could be false. If true, then this part of the then part will execute. If false, then the else part of the if block executes. I hope you are able to understand this. And then the script end will execute. So in here, because I have made it permanently false, so it is false will execute. See this. It is false is coming as an output because only this part of this command is executed as the condition is treated as false. Another example. Echo script begin. If you don't understand anything, please ping me immediately. Echo script begin. Echo is like printf. Script begin prints. If command. This command will produce its output, and the output will be visible across on the screen. Then echo will print. It will say ls is working. If the condition command will return 0 for success, that will be interpreted as true, then ls is working will print. Otherwise it will not print. Now let us run this script. Yeah, very simple and straight. ls. So when I run this here, it says script begin, that is this statement executes, echo script begin is printed. Then the output of ls. This is the output of ls, and because output is come to the screen and the exit code goes to the $, which is 0 for success, if interprets it as success, so it is true. So the then part is executing, which says ls is working. Here you see ls is working printed, and then the non-conditional command script end, echo script end is also printed. Simple and straight. Yeah, I execute a script, it says script begin, then I execute a command date. If date is a command which will execute, produce the output that will go to the screen, and then it will give the exit code. The exit code will go to $. If it is 0 for success, if will say execute the then block, which will say date is working. Let's have a look at this. There you see the script begin, this is printed, then the output of the date command, and exit code is true, so date is working is also printed, and then the script end is printed. So this is how the if is working. If else. Now again I have the script begin printed here, followed by if datwe. Now datwe is no command, so this is going to fail. It will execute non-zero positive value as the exit code, and instead of the output it will give some error. So because it is error, it is a non-zero positive value, error code is 127 command not found. So if will execute, and if will evaluate 127 as false. So therefore the else portion will execute for false. datwe not working. You will see that. Here you see the error code and the datwe not working, isn't it? Moving ahead. Yeah, echo script begin. If what is this brackets? Well, introduction of brackets into condition command. What is the command that is put into the brackets is called condition command. The brackets are put here to identify the command as a condition command, and it is usually used for complex commands. The use of braces here. Okay, the braces. Braces are used to identify the condition commands. These are usually braces are usually used for complex condition commands. Complex condition commands. When the condition commands are slightly complex. I'll show you some complex commands soon. Then you use braces, which are not mandatory. Okay. So here we are using date. Though it is a simple command, we are just introducing the braces here. Okay. If it is successful, then it will give the output on the screen, and the exit code will be 0 for success. It will say echo date worked. हाँ चाय पिला दो, एक नमक डाल देना थोड़ा ज़्यादा और गरम गरम देना बिल्कुल. Okay. If in case the date command is not successful, it will give a non-zero positive value, and the non-zero positive value will be going to the exit code, and the exit code will be interpreted as a false, and it will say date didn't work. Okay, let's have a look at this. Well, it says script begin, this statement printed, then it says Friday 3rd December 2021, output of the date command, it is successful, so it will say date worked. 0 was the exit code, and it says date worked, and then finally script end printed here. Okay, so this is how it works, the Ifelse working together. Very simple and straight, is it? It is just like Ifelse you used in C earlier, similar to that, isn't it? I hope everybody should be able to understand this. Another example. Somebody please copy and paste the Jamboard link in the chat. Look at this. What is this? The Jamboard link is here in the chat. Okay. Now look at this command. Here the LSS is a command which does not exist, so it will give an error. LSS will give error, so the error code will be printed on the screen, and the exit code will be 127 command not found, which will go to the if. It will interpret it as a false. It will go to the else portion. In the else portion, it will print the question mark environment variable, which will print 127, which is the exit code for command not found. Then it will say LSS returned false. These two statements fall in the else portion of the else block. Let us see how it works. Here you see. Oh, it says LSS command not found, error code on the screen, and the if block executes. Error code 127, LSS returned false. Okay. Another example. Comparisons. There are three types of comparisons that are used in shell scripting. That's just not coming up properly. Forget it. Now, there are three types of comparison that happens in shell scripting. These types of comparison. There are three types of comparisons. That is numeric comparison, string comparison, and file comparison or test directives. Okay. So types of comparison in shell scripting is these three. So you'll have numeric comparison, string comparison, and file comparison. Three types of comparisons. Okay. We'll see these three one by one. If the comparison commands are like this, very first of the three we'll see numeric comparison. What happens in numeric comparison is that the comparison operators are slightly different. If you remember, I told you that in shell scripting there is no data types. Because there is no data type, everything is interpreted as string. But you can change the interpretation. You can change the interpretation from string to something else, to numeric. Okay, and you can change it, the interpretation, to numeric like this. If you notice carefully about these directives, if you notice these directives, -eq, -gt, you see these directives here, eq. -eq means equal to, -gt, ge means greater than equal to, -gt means greater than, -le means less than, -lt means less than, -ne means not equal to. Now all these directives that you see, I'm talking about all these directives. These are numeric comparison operators. Numeric comparison operators. Now what happens is the variables in shell scripting does not have any data types. Okay. But when you use these special operators, -eq, greater than equal to, greater than, less than equal to, when you use these operators, then these operators make the data in variables to the left and to the right. These are the variables n1 and n2 to be interpreted as numbers. Means inside the data, inside the variable, what have you stored? Well, inside the variable it is considered that you have always stored string. But you can make the interpretation changed that the data that is stored inside these variables will not be interpreted as string. Instead, the data inside these variables will be interpreted as numbers, and you can do numeric comparison. So when you have to do numeric comparison, when you have to interpret the data inside these variables not as string but as numbers, you will use these operators. Okay, these operators will be used. Another type of comparison that you have in shell scripting is called string comparison. String comparison. Now there are special operators for string comparison that are these. String comparison operators. Now look at the operators. These are ordinary operators that you have been using all along, all over. You know, equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, not string, you know, zero string. So these are special operators. Okay, there are a few more. Now look at these operators. These are very special operators. You know? So when we talk about these operators, these operators, these are string comparison operators. The numbers, the variables used with these operators are considered to store strings. Okay. So this is how you can interpret the data stored in the variable as strings and use it as strings. The interpretation changes. Isn't it funny? In C, you declare a data type to be a data type integer or a char or float, and it stays as an integer or a char or float throughout the lifetime of the program. But in shell scripting, you can declare a variable, and the data type stored in that variable could be interpreted to be a number or a string. Interpretation in the same string. There is no fixed and rigid data typing. Okay. Yes, Arman?
So can we use hyphen EQ instead of equal to here?
Yes, you can use. If you use hyphen EQ instead of equal to, then the contents of str1 and contents of str2 will be interpreted as numbers, not strings.
Okay.
Like this. Okay. Hyphen n and hyphen z are special string operators. Hyphen n means check if string has a length greater than 0, then it will be true. Hyphen z means check if string has a length of 0, that is hyphen z. Okay, so these are the string comparison operators, which makes us have different interpretations of the numbers that we have used. The binary in the variables will be always be same, but the same binary inside the variables could be interpreted as numbers or could be interpreted as strings. Okay, then there are directives. Directives I'll tell you later. First, let us come to this. Have a look at this. If statement, but instead of ordinary brackets I have square brackets here. Instead of ordinary brackets I have square brackets here. This square bracket has a special meaning. It is actually a macro. This square bracket is actually a macro. Okay, this alone is not a macro. Actually, there are two things that constitute a macro. Two things together. After square bracket, you see there is a blank space here. This blank space is also considered. And these two things together, the square bracket and the blank space together, excuse me, constitute a macro. So this is square bracket, square bracket followed by blank space, square bracket followed by blank space together. Both things together makes up a macro. Now this square bracket and macro put together means this is going to be some kind of comparison. So it is going to tell us when we use a square bracket, opening square bracket followed by blank space. This means that comparison command follows. What happens next is a comparison command till square bracket. This closing square bracket is here just for the purpose of completeness. Okay. This could be string comparison or numeric comparison. It could be any kind of comparison. Okay, you follow that? So I will continue my discussion on tomorrow morning, where I'll tell you about how the comparison commands work in shell scripting, whether it be string comparison or numeric comparison, both. So that's all I have for you today. In the next session I will take it forward from here, and we will learn about comparison commands and the file comparison commands and the directives. Thank you.